Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you have a very great and wonderful day. Well, it seems that I'm going to go over a few things here with the actual inflation and how bad it really is. I think everybody knows that the inflation is technically not in a good state. I don't think it ever was. But from what we're seeing here is that a lot of the Biden people, the Biden economics, or Biden is constantly lying about inflation, and this video kind of shows exactly on how bad or how big the inflation has happened over the past year, if not 2 years. And there's some other crazy things that are happening in the world right now, like potentially World War III, but we're not going to get into that at the moment. We're going to do this. I want to say that for another day so we can go over that. What we have here is that we have this guy goes over the inflation and how it's increased over the past few years, if not year. So we're going to watch this briefly.
This man reveals the true food inflation by comparing prices with the price tags on photos he took a year ago.
So I'm walking around Costco here and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these madras lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding me. Let's look at what else we got going on here. We literally bought this chicken broth, $5.69, 2 months ago. Dang, this is the flour we were buying for $5.99 last year.
The government has its own math that they manipulate in a dodgy way. This man reveals the true food inflation.
So what we see here is obviously that the inflation has gone up, and you can't say that the Biden or America has been in the best state when inflation is up this much. Now, I do know that there is a potential chance of us going to war with Iran, which is going to be funding so many wars and potentially World War III, because Joe Biden is just constantly putting us into wars that we should not be in. But of course, we'll have a lot of people go out and defend these type of warmonger attacks and all these things. I think Nikki Haley as well is also wanting to go to war again because she's so just floor warmongering and happy that she just wants to go and attack other people. Listen. With this inflation, Nikki Haley, you can't go to war and expect our inflation not to increase when we're spending huge amounts of money that we do not have. Multiple countries, as of currently, are honestly going to want to use the petrodollar, which is, was keeping our country afloat. We have this as well, that the inflation has increased to, in the past year, 23.94%. And this is just going to get worse because every time we do go into a new war, our inflation is going to be higher because obviously we need money that we don't have to be put into this war. And this is my problem here, right? That if we keep doing this type of stuff, and this is only happening this has only been happening in the past year, and the inflation is bound to get worse. People are having a hard time putting food on the table. People are having a hard time being able to pay for gas, especially in California. People are having to deal with rent increases and stuff like that, and it's been a huge problem. And the government is trying to increase interest rates in order to try to keep the inflation down, because if they didn't, our inflation will probably be significantly worse. But this is all due to the needless spending and the horrible ways that the Biden is doing these things in our country. And I just do not like the fact that we constantly have to be going into multiple different types of wars because these warmongers just want to line their pockets from the deaths of other people. This is our huge problem here, and we cannot be having this type of war being going on along with a whole bunch of other stuff that's been happening across the country with the Biden situation. No, I'm not talking about, him going to potentially a battle zone and potentially risking our president to die, but some of the things that he's been exposed of actually making shady dealings with other countries. So that's another thing that I will be covering at some point, because again, there's just so much stuff that's been going on that I haven't been able to cover everything, especially with my limited time as of recent. But hopefully we can deal with this inflation crisis and how we're gonna and what it is. Luckily, right now there is a way to stop this, and I think that a lot of people are looking up and seeing the reality of how inflation goes. Yeah, and we can't keep surviving this way. We can't be going to war. It's just insane. So, at the end of the day, guys, I think that what we're heading to is another massive inflation increase, especially due to the wars and pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into into war, if not billions, because the billions that got sent to Hamas, or not to Hamas, but to Iran, and this is just insanity in the making. I can't tell you on how bad this will be, and hopefully we can make this out without our country getting completely imploded by a World War III. So, alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, share. I'll be back with more. Take care.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.